Let's go back to one of the stories we're covering here on TRT World. 6 days after a building collapsed in the Kenyan capital of Nairobi, rescue teams have pulled a woman out from under the rubble alive. The woman was carried out on a stretcher to an ambulance. At least 26 people were killed when the 6-story building came down following heavy rains on Friday. Dozens of others are still thought to be buried under the rubble. All right, let's get more on this from John-Allan Namu. He joins us now from Nairobi. John-Allan, tell us more about this extraordinary rescue by Kenyan officials.
Well, the rescue started at about 11 o'clock East African time when the woman was found lying under piles and piles of rubble in between a narrow shaft where she had been trapped for the past 5 days. After rescuers from the Red Cross, the National Disaster Recovery Authority, as well as the Kenya Defense Forces found her, she seemed to be awake and communicating to the rescuers. What the rescuers did is that they got a team of doctors around her to give her fluids via IV, as officers from the Kenya Defense Forces worked around really hard to try and rescue her. It really is something miraculous, given the fact that just yesterday, hope was fading very, very fast of there being any survivors, in spite of the fact that yet another miraculous recovery and rescue had taken place over the weekend with that one-year-old. So this has certainly given the people down at Huruma a boost of confidence that in spite of the fact that it's 5 days since the collapse, that there could be chances that there are people trapped in pockets.
I want to talk about that, John. You talked about this boost of confidence. You talked about this hope. How are the rescue workers feeling about finding possibly even more people trapped underneath the rubble that are still alive?
They're cautiously hopeful. I spoke to the head of the Disaster Management Authority, Mr. Pius Masai, just a few minutes before the woman was pulled out of the rubble, and he's cautiously hopeful that there might be pockets or pillars that may have stood in the way of between people who might be trapped in the various layers of the building, and that's why the rescue efforts are very slow, very painstaking to ensure that the earth-moving equipment isn't used vigorously, too vigorously to upset the collapsed parts of that building, just hoping that there might be something. So there really is quite an air of resurgence and hope in the rescue efforts right now, although the numbers and the days, of course, speak to a fairly opposite outcome, possibly.
All right, John-Allan Namu with the latest for us from Nairobi with that miraculous event of this woman coming out alive from under the rubble after a 6-story building collapsed on Friday in the Kenyan capital.